Hey guys, I hope you're doing great and welcome to a new video. In this video guys, I will show you 5 mixing tips that will help you get better at mixing. So let's get straight into it. So if you go to the mixer here, and I have span loaded in the master channel, and we take a look to the chords, for example, we see that there is low frequencies which are taking, fighting with the sub bass. So usually what we do is we go to I have the chords here as in a bus. So what you do is you just load an EQ here, and you start by cutting the low frequencies. Just make a high pass filter. You just cut like that. But sometimes you may cut a lot of frequencies that you lose the power of these chords. So we don't want that. So there is actually a cool tip that I know is if you go to the chords here, these chords are in C minor. So the fundamental note of these chords is C. So for example, we have C2 here. You can see the frequency, it's 62 Hertz, 66 Hertz. And if we move up a bit, we see the C3, which have around, in 132. So let's cut at that frequency. If you cut more, for example, you see that we lost a bit of power from the chords. And if we cut before, for example, let's say 90 or something, you can hear that there is some low frequencies still getting in the way of the sub bass. So maybe you can cut at around, 130, something like that. And now we will see a cool tip on how you can sidechain. So I have my kick drum here for this project. Basically, a kick drum have two parts, the transient part here, which you can see, which have the punch of the kick, the high frequencies, and the bass part, which have with the body of the kick, which have the low frequencies. So basically, our lead doesn't have any low frequencies, so we can use just a short preset, because we don't want the high frequencies of the lead to mask the punch of the kick. So if I load kickstart on the kick, and I just take a tight preset, for example this one, you can see it's already killed the transient of the kick, so there's no high frequencies anymore. Basically, you can just use the shortest sidechain for your leads and everything. I mean, depends on what you want to achieve with your leads. So I will just copy this instance of kickstart here to the chords, and I'll do the same to the plugs here. But for the sub bass, it's something else. For example, here, let's remove kickstart. Just I want to show you something. I have to actually load a gain dB meter. You can see that we are clipping here at around 2 dB. So I mean, I wish if there is a way in FL Studio that you can keep a plugin always in front of you, so it doesn't get behind the mixer. So if you see here that we are clipping, if we use the same preset as we used for the plugs, let me just copy it here. You can see that we are still clipping, So maybe we just want to use a longer preset. So to do that, you just go to the kick again, and we load kickstart. And now we find the preset that kills the sub part of the kick, the bass part, You can see that this one almost removes all the kick, but if we use a preset like that, so we don't get the kick anymore. But if we just use the same preset for the sub bass, this one, it will just make your sub bass not hearable. So maybe I think I will go with this one because you don't have to be perfect. So let's copy it. Now let's remove it. You see, now you're not clipping, but for sure I have to just reduce the gain of the bass drum and sub bass a bit. So you might wonder why I should mix in mono. You think everything now is stereo, have left and right. But if you're mixing on headphones, especially on headphones, and you export your song and listen to it maybe on a Bluetooth speaker or your laptop speakers or your phone speakers, you'll notice that you'll only listen to your kick and bass punching, and your lead is really left behind. Because when you are working on headphones, you'll be tempted to pan your leads here and get that wide stereo image, but you don't get that in a Bluetooth speaker. So what you can do is you go to your master channel, and there is a free plugin from Isotope called Imager. And if you just set this one to negative 100%, you basically get a 100% mono sound, as you can see here in the polar sample. You can keep this plugin here in your master channel, and whenever you mix or something, you just enable it. So to just lock it, you just click on Shift and enable disable, so it doesn't get enabled or disabled if you enable other plugins. Now you have to be aware, so when you switch to mono, you should listen to your lead, you should listen to everything in your track basically. Another cool thing that you can do is comparing and visualizing the spectrum of your track with other commercial tracks, that are already mixed and mastered, so you use them as reference. So I have this remix here that I'm working on, but I can't play it because it if I just hit play, my CPU will blow up. So I'll export this part to wave here, and I will bounce it and I will import it to another project. So I load my track into another project, and I have a reference track beneath it. It's by Rehab. I'm pretty sure you know this track, so let's just take a quick listen here. Now to do that, we go to the mixer and to the master channel, and we load span here, and I will route this track to a mixer channel, but I will sidechain it to the master channel so it doesn't send any sound here. You can see here the spectrum of my track. Now I want to see the spectrum of the other track as well. So if you go here to routing and input routing, you choose E and F as input routing, and you go here to the settings and to this one here and do processing, and in input 2 you choose the number of this mixer channel, which is 5. Now if we click on underlay here and select 2, and we make sure that we play this track, you can see the green one is my track and the reference track is in pinkish color, but it's a lot more louder because it's mastered already. So what we can do is I will load a free plugin. It's called Yulin loudness meter. We can see that I am at negative 14 laughs, so I have to make this track at negative 14 as well. So I will load another instance of the plugin and just duplicate it here, and now we just reduce the gain of it. You see we are at -14. Now if we go back to span here in the master channel, you can get a rough idea how your check should sound like. So basically you can push the highs a bit, work on the lows. So I am back to this project, and I removed all the plugins in the master channel. So if we play the drop, you can see that I am so close to 0 dB. I don't have any limiter or anything. So if I load the multiband compressor and I just increase the mids, we can see that we start clipping, and that's not good. So basically it's a problem that you should fix in the beginning, because I pushed everything close to 0 dB. Now I don't have any headroom here. So there is a trick that you can fix that in the beginning. So you just load the gain plugin in the master channel and you just push it to 6 dB. I mean 5.6 doesn't go above that. And I will not play it because it will blow my ears, so I have to reduce the gain of all the channels. Now if we disable it, see now that I have more headroom. So when you start mixing, just put a gain plugin in your master channel and just forget it. So just lock it here with your shift key and leave it there. So next, when you mastered your track, just disable it, and you have enough headroom now. Well, keep that in mind, guys. There is not a magic formula that you can apply to your mix and it will instantly sound good. So it's about trial and error. It's about listening in different systems. Maybe you listen on your phone, your hi-fi system. If you have access to a car, you can listen in a car system. Even if you don't have the appropriate gear, don't let that hold you down. So just keep pushing your gear to its limit, listen in different perspective. Like I showed you, you can listen in mono, and yeah, don't give up. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you have any question or suggestion, just leave it in the comments. And like my video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe so I can make more videos. And have a good day.